Yes, hi to YouTube, hi everyone. This is gonna be a bit weird to film something on Twitch while trying to prepare for a YouTube video. I'm gonna treat it like as if I'm just talking to you guys on Twitch. Okay, whenever I make YouTube videos, I tend to sound a bit more different from the way that I speak on stream. It's very, very strange. I may not sound very nervous when I'm on camera, when I'm streaming, but then when I'm doing YouTube, it's a completely different story, When you guys are not watching me, I'm alone at home, I'm facing the camera, and I'm like, I have to film something right now. I tend to stutter a lot. I go crazy, I had to do a lot of retakes, a lot of restart. So to now do it on stream with you guys and assess the operators all together, hopefully it's a bit more fun to at least have all of your company together. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the operators that we're going to see in Under Tides. The first operator that we're going to look at is... I use my customer service voice on YouTube, right? It's damn awkward, but whatever. The first operator that we're going to look at is Akafuyu. So, this is the 5-star of the banner. She herself, she's a crab, and honestly speaking, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I look at Akafuyu, I feel like I prefer her E1 art. I think her E1 art really gives off the figure super well. Very, very aesthetically looking. The E2 art is cool, but it made her look a lot smaller with the crap that goes on in the background. Yeah. E2 art of course looks very cool because it emphasizes on the fact that she's a crab, right? And then there's all the swords that goes around, the swords that stab the floor, and then she's doing that nice swing. It goes both ways lah, I would say. But like, I really like the way that she looks. To be fair though, she kind of reminds me that she could be someone from another gacha game. Does she remind you of anyone, to you? I don't know if she looked like she's someone from like a fighter game or maybe even... To be fair, I may even say Genshin in the case. I thought her aesthetic looked very similar. She looked like Tomoe Gozen from... Go? What is Go? Oh, from FGO. Musashi from FGO. Yeah, for sure she just seems familiar of a person. So okay, pretty cool to have that. I can already imagine some people setting as a waifu for her. So alright, let's take a look at the skills that she have. I mentioned it on stream just now, but we're gonna go through everything all over again. So she's an MET guard. Right now in CN, because they have the branch and the archetype system, there's specific names for all these kind of archetypes. So she's considered a Musha, but for now we're gonna call her MET guard. MET guards are basically like Helliger and Utage, right? Helliger and Utage have the exact same trait as Akafuyu, whereby they cannot be healed by other operators. They could be healed passively by people like... I think this should be true, right? They can be healed by Angelina. They can also be healed by Sora and Scouter. But they cannot be healed by regular medics, basically. Or even those healing defenders. So, only passive healing. And... Suzu? Suzu can heal? Let me Shine also can heal? Seriously? See you, Fukabell. Oh, okay, so there's a few people who can also heal them on top of it. But if not, traditional medics or traditional healing defenders, they can't. So that's that. If let's say they're not being passively healed by anyone else, then they will be healing only on every hit on enemies. Which for Akafuyu, she heals 70 per hit on enemies. Her potentials has a lot of this defense power, redeployment down, deployment cost down. There's no talent increase because I guess there's only one talent. We'll look at it later as to why there isn't a talent increase for her. Attack plus 30 and defense plus 55 for her trust stats, which also means to say that she's more of a balanced operator. But if we look at both potential and trust, it's gonna be more on the defense stuff. Am I gonna do a pool showcase when UT comes out? If I do nice pools for you guys on stream, then maybe I'll put it on YouTube. Depends, we see how it goes on Twitch. Anyways, she focuses a lot on defensive stuff. So this is gonna be very apparent when we look at her skills later on. Her talent states that she increases attack speed based on HP loss, up to 100 attack speed when 70% of HP is lost. Oh, 100 attack speed is pretty damn fast actually. I think it's the same as Helliger though. Is it the same as Helliger? Does Helliger also add by 100? Let me know. Her current attack speed is 1.2 seconds. So if you add by 100%, she's gonna attack every 0.6 seconds. So it's like super fast. Exactly the same as Heidegger. So yeah. Already starting to look like she's just a 5-star variant, but maybe she'll have some skills that looks different from Heidegger later on. Let's take a look at her first skill. Her first skill states that she reduces block count and attack increased by 50%. Attacks deal 2 hits. Okay, I was mentioning just now that the problem that Akafuyu might have is that if let's say you reduce the block count for Akafuyu and you're letting enemies just pass by, it might be a counterpart towards what she actually does. What I'm trying to say is that because she benefits from health down, right? Less the health, more the ASPD. So if that was the case, then I would rather that, she get hurt to a certain extent so that you maximize the ASPD and maximize the attack up. But if you reduce the block count to 0 too fast and you let the enemy just bypass and she still has full health, then you're not putting the advantage of her skill to use. One of the best ways you can use her skill 1 is that if let's say she is attacking and she happens to have her health go all the way down, then you can activate a skill, reduce the block count, let the person pass, and let her smack as quickly as possible. But this only works very well to people who have low defense. And to what one of you said where you put a defender behind, it's kind of it's counterintuitive. You see, if you're gonna use an extra operator to put behind Akafuyu, meaning you use 2 deployment costs, then you create this problem where what's the point? You use more operators to make something work. Might as well you use an operator that can do the same job and use less of a deployment cost. Like Heidegger can at least sustain without that block count problem, and some of the other 5 stars or 6 stars can sustain a lane better. This might be good against if you're heli dropping per se, you want to eliminate a low defense or medium defense enemy, and you try to chip it all the way down such that Akafuyu maybe drops her health so low that the ASPD sustains enough for this person. Then there's some reason to use this. If you have it at M3, it goes all the way up to 80%, and the SP cost is 16. So it's I'm not very into it, to be fair. If you really want to use her, that's an option. Yeah, that's for sure. If you are gonna use Akafuyu for waifu reasons, of course you will go out of your way to make anything work. But for now, I would have to say that this is a little wonk to me. You can see Akafuyu and Arc as a good strategy. Is it really gonna be a good strategy? Now, usually when I take operators and assess them, right, I'll benchmark them at E2 level 30. At E2 level 30, Akafuyu has 3060 health, 650 attack power, and a defense of 300. So if you take Arc, you use your Arc and shoot her, Arc deals 500 damage per hit, and he deals it 15 times. You see this? It's 3000. I'm gonna increase the size in case it's hard to see. Anyways, 3000. It's if you use 1 Arc against her, she's almost dead. You gotta hope that she doesn't die. Of course, she has a trust increase though. She has a trust increase and the potential increase. So she definitely can survive. But I see some synergy for sure. Just that hopefully you level up her high enough to merge her together with Arc. Yeah. In any case, her attack power is quite low, to me at least. 650. You add by a trust is about 680. If I look at skill 1, and then you bump it all the way up to M3, plus 80% attack, she's gonna go as high up to say about 1200-ish, 1300 per hit. Of course, if the ASPD is very high, then actually it can smack pretty damn well. 1.4k at E2 max. If it's 1.4k at M3 E2 max, it's kind of high if you manage to use the ASPD well. But if not, then it can be a little iff to really learn how to use this kit. Now, if you go to skill 2, skill 2 states that she immediately loses 50% HP. She gains 1 layer of shield, which disappears when the skill ends, attack plus 70%, and defense plus 90%. Skill 2 is a little bit more strange. First of all, when they say gain a layer of shield, it's kind of the exact same as like a Mud Rock shield that doesn't take any damage, or Nian shield where you deploy her and then she has 3 charges. In this case, if you activate Akafuyu's skill, she will gain only 1 shield. 1. And then when someone smacks her, no matter if it's 1 damage or 1000 damage, she just blocks that 1 and continue receiving damage after that. Which is very, very funny. And then afterwards, attack plus 70%, defense goes up. If defense goes up, so now her defense, for instance, is 300, right? And you add the trust, which is 350-ish. 350 you add by 90%. You're almost multiplying it by 2. So it's 700, right? 700 defense is almost a normal defender stats. And if it's a normal defender stats, again, she's an enmity guard. She loves to keep her health low. So when using this, of course you can say that it's not really a problem because she loses HP, like 50%. But it's still an issue where if her defense is too high, then she's gonna regain her HP very fast and no longer benefit from the ASPD. So I'm not really in favor of skill 2 as well. There's some point in time where this might be useful to get the defense up. It could be a situation where... No, actually no, it's hard for me to think about it. It's best used when there's a... mid-attack enemy, kind of. And then the person has low defense or mid defense. And then when the person walks up to Akafuyu, you activate the skill so that her defense goes up, and you use that slight increase in ASPD to tear down this person as much as possible. At least that's like the only situation that I feel that it's very, very good. But apart from it, right, why you hit the skill if you're not getting... Why use the skill when you're not getting hit? It's pretty much that. Like, you should make enmity guards get hit. So I'm not in favor of it, especially once you go to M3. Like, 120% defense. So she's super strong now, right? She can block out about 800 damage, I would think. 800 physical damage. Attack does go up very nice and high. And of course, lose HP, sure, but it's not maximum. She gets the maximum ASPD at 70% HP loss. So you really gotta figure out how you want to manage this part, right? I would say I prefer skill 1 over skill 2 as well. Like skill 1, while it sounds weird to have block count dropping to 0, but I think there's more use cases for this than skill 2. So that's at least what I'll put to Akafuyu. And if you have a Helliger build, do you need to build Akafuyu? I don't think so. I don't see why there would be a need. Apart from the fact that maybe she looks cute. Like, let me just open a chibi. Oh, she looks so good. Oh, look at that. Wow! Oh, she's smiling when she attacks. Yo, that's a selling point right there. People be like, I don't care if a cat is... I don't care if a kid is not good for me or not. Like, I'm just gonna get her anyways. Her shoes are nice. Yeah, her shoes are very, very nice. Her chibi art even shows her toes. Goddamn. It's not usual for an operator to show their toes in the chibi art. So, yeah. Quite cool, quite cool. Once again, not too much of a need to build. I feel that if you build, it's only because you really like the way she looks, or you read her skills and you find that there's reason that, you know, you might want to put it to application in your own account. Other than that, yeah, that's that for the 5-star. Let's go to the next operator. Do you guys have any questions for Akafuyu, by the way? Shouldn't be too bad. If you guys have questions, right, about the operator, let me know. Is she a better version than Utage? No. Utage is arts damage. Akafuyu is physical. It's not better. She does 2 different things. Doesn't she remind you of Yorihime from Touhou? I don't know how Yorihime looks like. Is she useful for Degainer? I don't think so. You don't really need MET cards in the game. MET cards are like a nice to have, but they're not a must. They don't exactly like make the game super game changing. Of course, if she's one of your first few 5 stars, I don't see why not to build. She still does have a very decent high attack that can be useful for you. But apart from that, maybe not really needing. Yeah. It can be quite hard to learn, actually, if you're a new player also. When's she coming out? She comes out together with Undertides. Undertides drops on 21st December. It's December. Yo, cookies in Christmas now. 21st October, which is next Thursday. What are enmity guards good against? Large squishy waves. Pompeii. Like, one of the favorite places to use enmity guards is probably like this stage. Where is it? Here. People's favorite place to showcase enmity guard is this guy. High HP, somewhat high attack or okay mid attack, and low defense. This is the best situation to show a enmity guard off. Because Helliger was released in this event. Alright. Okay, I think that's all that I'm going to mention about Akafuyu. Next operator that I'm going to show is Gladiator. Okay, big boy stuff now. We're going to look at the 6 stars. Now, chat, if you're watching this, please don't go crazy. I know you guys, some of you are like spasming out to see Gladiator, how she looks and all. You know, she might be a very, very pretty operator to you. Even the E2 art is very aesthetic, to be honest. Like, what animal is Gladiator? Actually, I've been staring at her art for a while. I couldn't really tell. Is she a bird? Some kind of seabird? I cannot tell at all. Swordfish, ah. Oh, no wonder there's the sharp edge. Because... No. If you see the art at the left side, right? There's a sharp, like, part. I thought it was a beak. I know eagles are full of fishes. But the problem is I couldn't tell what fish it was. I see no fish in the drawing. So now I learned, okay, it's a swordfish. That's cool. And I mean, it explains as well, right? The sword that she holds, some real sharp thing that's on her hand there. So okay, fair enough. Gladiator is a 6-star puller. Oh, Halo God, thanks for the subscription. Wait, I'm tongue twisting. I got a surprise because I didn't expect to hear a subscription now, but I'm explaining to you guys and making a video at the same time. But thank you so much. Love you for that. Gladiator will add the team of Abyssal Hunters, right? 6-star puller, just like Weedy being a 6-star pusher. Finally, we got a 6-star variant. And the tags that she has are Shift, DPS, and Crowd Control. There's actually a lot of good tags that I see in one. DPS, Crowd Control, and on the pooling operator, it's so out of the blue. And hopefully it's super strong. Let's read down her talents, her potentials, and the skills one by one to see how good she exactly is. Again, Gladiator is a welfare operator that you can get from the event. So it's gonna be very easy for you to get max potential. If you've never gotten a max potential 6-star yet in the game, maybe because you're free to play, you don't spend a lot of money. I mean, even I don't have a max potential 6-star. Then now's the chance. Everyone will get a free 6-star max potential just by clearing out the store. Hot 6 immediately. And if you clear out the store, you'll get the DP cost -1, -1, -1. My Rosa isn't max pot. My Rosa is pot 5. Yeah. Redeployment cooldown -10 and second talent enhancement, which we'll see what that is later. We'll factor that in. Attack +50, defense +50. So again, another very balanced operator. I want to take note of the DP cost of her. Let's scroll down and see what's the DP cost. She at E230 is a DP cost of 16. So if you have a max pot Gladiator, she's going to cost 13. And 13 is going to be very easy to deploy her actually. My SA pot is pot 3 or pot 4. I can't remember. But yeah, 13 DP, quite cheap to be one of the first few deployments at pot 6. And look at her attack number. It's 692. If you put her as a first operator to deploy, she can actually slap some things really hard. Like, to have a near... Actually no, it's 750 if you factor in the trust. it's like Melanta's attack power when Melanta is max E1, level 55. So this is really, really nice. Of course, if you bump it up even higher, then the attack stat will go up even more. Like if it's max E2 90 is 800. Wow, that's damn good. She's squishy, yeah, a little bit. The resistance is none. The defense is 300. The health is kind of low as well. But she's a puller, so maybe if you put her as an early operator, you gotta hope that she's handling like smaller mobs, the easier to kill ones. Or if not, if she handle the middle mobs, the mid attack kind of tier of enemies, then you gotta make sure that she can do the job, try to kill her fast. To try to kill them fast, not herself. Okay, now, let's take a look at her talents. If you have her at E1, when deployed, all Abyssal Hunters operators recover 1.5% max HP every second and receive 15% less physical and arts damage from seaborne enemies. So again, Abyssal Hunters are Skadi and Drainer. Skadi can include Skadi Outer, by the way, Spectre and Gladiator. So the four of them, okay? The four of them will receive less damage and be recovering a lot. If you put her to E2, right? At E2, max potential. When deployed, the Abyssal Hunters this time will gain 2.5%. Oh, Scouter is Aegir faction, not Abyssal Hunter. Oh, she's not considered Abyssal Hunter. Oh, she's only under Aegir. Oh, okay, then Scouter's not included then. So it's only Skadi, Spectre, and Drainer, and Gladiator, without Skadi the Corrupting Heart. Alright, but anyways, it recovers 2.5% max HP every second. Receive 25% less physical and arts damage from seaborne enemies. You guys know what that means? Like, 25% less damage for one. You're cutting down a quarter of what the enemy does to them. It's already a lot less of a reduction. It's kind of like reminding me of how Mudrock reduces the enemy. It reminds me of how Mudrock reduces the amount of damage she takes from the Sarkaz enemies. It's not as high, like Mudrock is 40%, I think, but for them at 25%, just on seaborne enemies, pretty cool. Seaborne enemies are only the Undertide enemies, by the way. No other enemies included. Does Chowder enemies count as seaborne? You mean like the Siesta or like the water enemies? I don't think so. I think seaborne is only Undertides. Like water team enemies are not considered seaborne. Now, all Abyssal Hunters recover 2.5 max HP every second. Okay? Gladiator can recover 2.5 HP per second, and that applies to other operators. Now, one of the Abyssal Hunter operators already have a self-regeneration skill. Not sure if you guys remember who it is, but I gotta mention it. It's Spectre. I got a port 5 Spectre in my account, so she has a talent improvement. My Spectre is recovering max HP at 2.5% max HP per second. You take Gladiator and Spectre in the same stage. You know what happens? Spectre starts healing for 5% max HP per second. Even if you don't have a max port Spectre, okay, you have a normal Spectre, 4.5% max HP per second. Dude, Spectre is sustained. She's a sustaining queen with the help of Gladiator. Like, it's so damn strong. This combination of the two of them is nuts. It's so crazy. After UT, the skill of the 25% less physical damage is useless. Kind of like Ceylon, how Ceylon can only work on water tiles, right? But it's fine. At least it couples with a good talent that's in front, where it buffs the healing of the Abyssal Hunters. I'm very hyped to build her just for this talent alone. Like, it's so well to pair with one of my favorite operators to use, that is Spectre, right? Add in Engie and Perfumer for more regen, then Spectre just lives all the way. So anyways, when attacking, this is if you E2 her and set it to potential 5, when attacking enemies with weight less than or equal to 3, deals 136% damage. So just now we studied, right? We saw that E2, at E2 level 30, she will deal 750 damage, adding her trust. So 750, you multiply it to the 136. 136 is an awkward number. Hold on. Let me just double check. It is about like 950 damage. 950. And that's quite big actually for a smaller mob. It's very sweet of a number. So good talent that she has, and weight less than or equal to 3 is already including a lot of enemies. Like there are some armored enemies that as well, even though they have a high defense and all, but their weight is still at 3. So she does pretty well against them. Let's take a look at her skills. Now, skill 1 of Gladius says that the next attack will pull the target towards herself with medium force, dealing 180% physical damage. Now, take note of this, yeah? Can hold 2 charges. Of all pooling operators, there was never an operator that could hold charges as their pools. So now that we have this is freaking amazing. Even Weedy doesn't have charge, right? Can someone confirm with me? I suddenly can't remember because I don't really use Weedy skill 1. Like Weedy skill 1 doesn't even have charge, right? Why would you need the charges? Think about it. If you, let's say you have a map when the map has like a hole per se. If let's say there's a lot of mobs that you could take advantage of to keep pulling them into the hole, then with charges, it will become a thing whereby with Gladius charge, you can continuously pull the people in with the use of skill 1. And by doing that, it really helps in the form of like, okay, I think it's further emphasized when I show you her at M1. If M1 is her skill 1, it goes all the way up to 3 charges this time. 3 charges, and it says that the next attack will deal the same amount of force at 190% physical damage. Just at M1, you already get a free charge. So if you're able to stock it up, then it becomes a thing where she can do a pull, and pull. So it's pretty massive to see such a thing in action. I like the skill as charges evolve. And at the same time, 190% physical damage against a weight 3 or less enemy, and she's at E2 level 30, she's gonna deal like 1,800 damage. Single target, of course. It's still pretty damn high. Making it such that if let's say you're a new player in the game and you receive her as a welfare operator, even for her skill 1 alone, it's already very, very good. Damage numbers, very high. You see, even normal attack or with the skill on using her charge skills, you're slapping like smaller mobs or even some of the middle defense ones. So this makes her a very, very viable operator to build. If let's say, actually no, I shouldn't make the judgment call first. I'll make the judgment call after I look at skill 2 and 3. I was about to compare her to other pullers. Let's look at skill 2. Skill 2 states that increases attack intervals by 50%. So multiply by 2 in terms of the amount of time she takes to attack. Expands the attack range. So the attack range is the same as like, almost the same, like Cliffheart's netting skill, except I think there's 2 more square tiles that's within the left and the right side. And then attacks target 2 enemies, prioritize blocked enemies. So if they are blocked, she will focus on them. If they're not blocked, it doesn't mean she won't focus. If within a range there's no one that's blocked at all, she'll just pull the 2 that's closest to the box. Dealing, wait, let me bump it up. Dealing 150% physical damage and pulling them towards herself with a medium force. Oh, it's exactly skill 2's range. Oh, my bad. So, okay, exactly the same as Cliffheart skill 2. Now, she will always be pulling 2 people, with the disadvantage that she's gonna pull at a slower rate and with a slower damage number. It can be better than skill 1 in terms of the total damage number, because if you're attacking 2 people at once, in total maybe you're doing more damage than before. I'm not sure what's the actual math behind it. I feel like it might end up becoming about the same, but This is a time skill, unlike the previous one is charge. So you gotta wait out for the SP cost of 29, and then afterwards you use it, the skill will run for 20 seconds, and then you pull. Skill 2 has around 780 DPS. This is max M3 and max E2, right? Skill 1 has 1k, so 1.5k two targets. So sometimes skill 1 could be better when you're battling against like one person and you need the higher amount of damage. Skill 2 is better when you're trying to take out a few mobs at once. In a sense, I think both skill 1 and skill 2 have different use cases as to why sometimes you might choose that one and why you would choose another one at another point in time. So for me personally, I would say big thing. So Feng, were you gonna share something? Skill 2 has a higher what? Damage per hit? Or attacks? My fan is being Papega. Hold on. I bought a new fan recently. One of the hardest fan control. Okay, yeah. 2.1k. Oh wait, so you're saying that skill 2 smacks more in the end? But that's not the case though. Why would you say that skill 2 smacks harder? Oh, because is it for the fact that skill 2 runs for 20 seconds? So it's calculating like the longer that you put her in the stage, you'll end up doing more damage with skill 2. Although I must say that skill 1 sounds lazy, to be fair, since skill 1 is a charge skill, and you're benefiting from like, just letting her do her own job. All her attacks pull with skill 2. 4 attacks is enough for skill 2 to out DPS. Okay. So, in a sense, skill 2 is very obviously doing more damage than skill 1 then. But give and take here depends on you guys. When you guys get your Gladiator, would you want to build skill 1 or skill 2? I must say both skills already look exceptional. It's almost to the point that Gladiator can be an M9 operator, and I think she really could be the M9 operator. It's quite scary that these coming 6 stars all have very viable stuff that goes on in each of their skills. I haven't even talked about skill 3 yet. Let's look at skill 3. Skill 3 says that it inflicts bind to a faraway target and generate a tornado centered on it. The tornado inflicts 50%, minus 50% movement speed to nearby enemies, deals 100% arts damage every 1.5 seconds, and pulls them towards the center with medium force. When the skill ends, pull enemies nearby the tornado towards self with medium force. So I don't know if you guys saw the animation for the skill tree before. I don't think I can exactly show it here. I probably need to like play a video of sorts. Let me see what I can do. Skill tree, Gladiator. I'm not gonna play sound, let me just turn that off. It's a lucky video that we are tuning into. Yeah, so if you have it as skill tree, again what this does is that she summons a tornado, it goes for the furthest away target in front of her, right? And then after she will summon the tornado, and all the enemies in the vicinity will be sucked in. If their weight is small, then they'll be easily sucked into the center of the tornado. If their weight is big, then they may not be sucked in, just like how this butcher guy is just walking along. Oh no, he's actually still sucked in. Oh, very strong tornado. But even so, right, if let's say they don't really get sucked in, the benefit here is that they will still receive a movement speed down by 50%. So they get slow and they stay within that tornado range of getting arts damage on them. The arts damage is 100% at skill rank 7. If you go all the way up, it's 130%. So if we take into respect of her stats, it's going to be about 1300 arts damage. And this is done every 1.5 seconds. So 1300 damage every 1.5 seconds, and the skill runs for 8 seconds. You're only going to hit about 5 times. And if it's 5 times, in total you do like 7500 arts damage. And then after you do the big pull, you see, the big boy pool, hoping that all the people that she's pulling towards have the enough block count to actually sustain so many enemies. Or unless, because of the pool, it managed to wipe them out. Skill tree is supposed to be her bread and butter. I don't think so. Skill tree is not exactly bread and butter. Skill tree's damage is actually smaller. If you look at the numbers in the damage, right, and skill 3 has a SP cost of 35, while skill 2 has an SP cost of 25 at M3. This is very good damage-wise. This is good when you have some strategy that requires that level of force. See, you're pulling enemies into the tornado with a large force at M3, and afterwards you end the skill with pulling them at large force again. So this is very good if, let's say, you know why you're crowding all the enemies in one place. If you crowd all the enemies in one place, right, like into the tornado, there's four operators that benefit from this tornado effect. AoE guards, AoE casters, AoE snipers, and chain casters. Like, if you can suck everyone into the same tower, then it helps them to do that big boy damage, you know? Everyone gets torn in the 8 seconds as fast as possible. Skill 3 is very good at holding a lane if there's a lot of enemies coming. They are not going to get past skill 3, that's for sure. Weedy skill 3 also. Yeah, Weedy will be good, right? If you want to do the push, so Gladiator does the pull, right? Then you just Weedy bang them and send them all flying. It really helps to add that damage onto them. This only needs 9 SP, can be used as a heli drop push. So yeah, to compare on all the skills, really right now, as we can see, right, Gladiator seems like an operator that could get M9. But of course, if you're low on resources, you shouldn't go and M9 any operator free and easy. It's just so expensive. You yourself, you need to decide which skill you like the most, and maybe pick the skill that you want to build up on. And the additional thing to note is that Gladiator is impressive enough of an operator that she managed to do CC well enough, right? Actually, can someone remind me of this? In CC6, what skill was Gladiator on to achieve max risk? Because I remember that Gladiator actually achieved max risk in CC6. It was skill 2. Whoa! Replaceable with Cliffheart. So it's not Gladiator exclusive. Cool. But then again, Gladiator is still managing her own max risk. It really goes to show that there's the potential in her to be a super good operator, right? So yeah, that's the thing that I had to mark. Gladiator has a stamp of I cleared CC with max risk before, so she's done well as an essential operator. And yeah, she's not, how would I put it? She's not a busted 6-star, right? Not some crazy 6-star that helps you to kill every single thing, but as someone to support your strategy in your account, she can be very, very nice to have, right? So that's all that I have to mention about Gladiator, I think. Is there anything that you guys want to ask me about Gladiator before I take my leave? If I take my leave, I'm going to move on to Kelsit. Wait. Remember seeing Gladiator on skill 3 in CC5? Gladiator didn't achieve max race, right, in CC5. She was used, but she wasn't max race. Oh, she was in the max race, And if she was in risk 31, then... Oh, risk 31 skill 1? Wow! Gladiator already making the mark on 2 CCs, that's impressive. Replaceable with rope, but still impressive, really. Huh, okay. Now, Kelsit. Okay, this is the ex-wife of the banner, or the one that many people will be hyped about. You're either super hyped about Skadi Outer, or you're super hyped about Kelsit, or maybe both, whichever that you are. If you're in the Nun party, then that's kind of sad. I mean, hopefully with this video time, or even with me presenting on stream, it helps people to end up appreciating that kid a little bit more. And I mean, I have my Kelsit bunny here. She's kind of like falling off already. Okay, that's worrying. Anyways, Kelsit. She's got the exact same in-game sprite that appears already, and she's got the cooler E2 art going on, right? It makes her look really small when the whole picture is this giant monster that's just like blocking 90% of the picture. But still cool. Emphasizes how probably monstrous this thing is. I feel like I made a pun unintentionally. Okay, the text that she has as an operator is very special. Never before we've seen an operator that has summon and healing together. I think even though Silence can summon, does Silence even have summon as a text? Not really, right? I think only Kelsey has summon as her stats in the text that she have. No, she doesn't have the summon tag. Like Silence don't even have the word summon. Yeah, it's only healing, right? So it's quite cool to see these two things going around. It says that her traits is to heal friendly units and that she's a physician or a single target medic. Now, at Elite 1, the talent states that she can summon and heal monster. Monster has 30 seconds redeployment time. Kelsey will prioritize healing for herself and monster. If monster is not in her range, monster's defense will drop to 0. The 30 seconds redeployment is improved to 25 seconds if E2 her. And if let's say, well, not all of you are going to get her at a high pot, some of you only just one copy, so we'll take one copy as a reference. When monster is defeated, excluding if you retreat him, he will stun all the enemies in the 8 surrounding tiles for 3 seconds. So he will explode, basically. If he loses all his health, someone managed to destroy monster, he will explode, stun everyone around him for 3 seconds, and 1200 true damage will be dealt to all of them. Which is crazy. Now, one thing that you need to note about the talent 1, because it says that Kelsey will prioritize healing on herself and monster. So this means that if let's say in Kelsey's range, there's her, there's monster, and there's Blaze. Then monster is holding one lane, Blaze is holding another lane. So enemies keep coming onto them, right? They both take damage, and monster is taking so much damage, Kelsey is doing her best to heal. And then Blaze keeps getting hit by the enemies to the point where she falls all the way down to like 100 HP. So you have Blaze at 100 HP, just over there screaming, "Hey, Kelsey, heal me! I need healing!" And then Kelsey looks to a monster and see, oh, looks like monster is 1 HP away from his max HP. Like he lost 1 HP. Guess I'll heal monster. And then Blaze dies. That's basically how it works. So even though she says that she heals friendly unit, you must take note that Kelsey loves her and only her. She's one heck of a selfish medic. Like, she's not gonna care about other people, even if they're dying. She's just gonna be like, "Oh, you're dying? Sorry, man. I'm like, oh, I got a cut, paper cut. My finger got hurt. Sorry, I need to put plaster. Oh, you're losing blood from your heart. Oh, okay." Yeah, that's basically what she is. Did you just send me like a video or something? What does this mean? 落得岛不耐废物. Oh. Rhodes Island doesn't tolerate trash. Man, why you bullying passenger like this? Why must you all do passenger like this? And then yes, she's healing herself and not healing passenger. But you get the point, okay? I got my message across. Okay, anyways, that's it. So note that when you're using her. Another thing to see of her basic stats. If you put her all the way to E2, okay, at E0 first. You guys might not be able to see this because I have dark mode turned on. Let me just turn off my dark mode. I'm turning on the lights. There it. Oh, it's not that bright. Okay, yeah, anyways, I turned on the lights. Do you guys see the range at E0? It looks like this right now, right? Okay, so at E0, she has a normal medic range. If you put her to E1, for some reason, she gets like an extra tile. So just this one little square in front. And if you put her to E2, she suddenly becomes an AoE sniper range. So she has 5 rows in front of her. Being one of the only medics who have such a base range increase. And this helps because it helps you to like maybe choose more tiles that you can deploy monster at. It's very, very interesting to have given her such a kit. It's so weird when she's classified as a normal medic archetype instead of a unique archetype. It's just funny, I guess. Okay, let me turn back off my light. Alright, anyways, I also want to talk about the base stats, right? If we look at E0, okay, E0... How do I toggle monster level? What's this at monster level 30 now? Wait, I'm gonna refresh this. Let me see if I can change it. Okay, yeah, now it's at E1, okay? Notice how if I bump it all the way up to level 50, E0, okay? For level 50 E0, she can already summon monster. Monster has 3,300 HP. E0. Next. 827 power attack. 272 defense. And it's a summon. You know his HP amount and attack power is higher than Melanta, like a base 3-star, higher than Matoi Maru, alright? Higher than Flame Ringer, higher than Duelist Guards for base only, and even higher than Skadi at E2 without skill turn on. It's crazy, you know, to see how monster at E0 already have all these stats. Monster is the first summon unit that can get healed by an operator. But interval. Interval as in, you mean his attack interval? Like 2 seconds? When you say interval, were you referring to this? It can be a bit slow, for sure. Yeah, because guards attack every 1 second. So 2 seconds can be a little bit long. But still though, it's crazy. Like 822.7, you cannot deny. It's a very, very high attack number. And at E0, block 3. 3! It's not even like you E1 him, he gets 1 more block, you E2 him, he gets 1 more block. By default, he gets 3. So that's honestly like damn crazy. Now, can other medics heal monster? No. No other medics can heal monster. So the only person that can heal monster is Kelsit. But I think passive healings work, by the way. Can someone confirm? If I'm not wrong, passive healing work. Yeah, okay, can. So Angelina, Scouter, they can probably help, I think. No, does it work? Do you guys know exactly what helps it? Okay, while I wait out for the answers, let me bump it up to E1 max. Now, if it's at E1 max, not even E2 yet. Wonder why Kelsey took so long from launch. Doesn't she play the same in beta? She might play the same, but it might be because she was way too busted. And yeah, it's for hyperbole reasons. So okay, I think she can be healed by passive healing, from the way it seems. Does monster profit from Kelsey's trust bonus? No, I don't think so. Different. Kelsey's trust bonus only affects herself. Yeah, so monster is only gonna get like these flat attacks up and all. So attack plus 100, okay, yeah, if we go look at his attack amount at E1 max, 1150. This is so damn good. And the max HP, 4290. Guys, even normal operators, I don't even think Eunectus at E2, like, yeah, I don't think there's a lot of operators that have more HP than this without skill turn on. It's way too high. Seriously, to have something like that. Can monster get AoE healed? Sora can heal, but he cannot get healed by traditional medics. So it's just mad. Defense is 336. Redeployment time goes down. Redeployment time goes down. And just the final number that I want to show, if you put it all the way up to E2 max, 1400 attack, 5400 HP. I think skills turn off, this is the highest amount of health in the game. Correct, right? I don't think anyone surpassed this. And it's It's not just anyone, no one surpassed this. It's just way beyond the highest. Eunectus E2 max is 4468. This is 1000 more. It's crazy, you know, to see something like that. There's even Surtur on skill 3, but does Surtur on skill 3 even beat this? No, I think he beats this, actually. But still, yeah, with turn on, sure, but with turn off, then, yeah, this is really, really good at sustaining. So, that's that. Attack, so this is all the things that I need to show. Let's put her down to E2 level 30. Okay, we're gonna look at her skills this time. Skill 1. Skill 1 states that herself and monster's defense will increase by 120%. And only for herself, she gains 40% physical block. Which is a bit funny. Like, why can't monster get the physical block? Why is it only her? Right? Because you would think that the medic is the one that gets hurt less? Beeswax and Rosmonte summons heal. Why will Beeswax heal? Doc says, see, your question confused me. Why will Beeswax heal monster? Beeswax doesn't heal other people, neither does Rosmontis. Oh, you mean do they heal by other things? No, I don't think so. No. Yeah, I don't think those summons heal by other stuff. The inanimate stuff. Yeah, they're not actual things that can be healed. Inanimate things like pillars and basically pillars, they don't get healed. Oh wait, they can only be healed by regeneration. So they can be healed by passive healing also, Zefang. Oh, that's it. Interesting. But I mean, even so, then it's just up to your creativity to make it to use. Nightingale Cage healing was done. The reason why CC6 max freeze was done. I see. Okay, fair enough. So, new lesson learned. Anything that cannot be healed by traditional medics can still be healed by passive healing or like all those regenerative stuff. Alright, now I'm gonna bump it all the way to M3. Herself and monster increases defense by 150%, and herself gains 50% physical block. Again, I don't understand this part. Like, why does she need the physical block? I don't know when you're gonna put this to use. Defense up, fine. Monster can go all the way up to 800 defense, good for sustaining purpose, but like, I'm not really certain when you truly want to use this. As a new player that enters the game, having this skill could be nice, right? If you own a Calcit when you first hop in, you are trying to get around stuff, monster can be used like a heli dropper to go around everywhere. Of course, you must take note that if you put monster outside of Calcit's range, his defense is 0. So even if skill is turned on, he's still gonna have 0 defense. Only when monster is in her range that she gets the defense buff. But this is nice as a heli dropping thing. In more general gameplay, you probably won't use this skill that much. I will have to say that skill 2 and skill 3 is where the stuff is at. So let's go for skill 2. Now, skill 2 states that self-attack speed is up by 60. Monster's attack goes up by 50%. Monster attacks multiple enemies equal to block count. So he basically turns into AoE. This is the impressive part that I found about Calcit skill 2. Calcit skill 2 has an SP cost of 12. 12! At rank 7. And it runs for 17 seconds. Her self-attack speed is basically her healing speed. While monster attack going up by 50%, if you have a monster at E2 level 30 with a attack power of 1200, add by 50%, it goes up to like 1800, 1900. And that being AoE amount, he's doing something that Blaze would be doing, for instance. It's about Blaze damage level. And the fact that he's someone who is actually fast redeployable, like you can retreat him, wait for 25 seconds, put him somewhere else again. It's this thing where you can do like quick heli drop monster everywhere to kill the stuff. It's better than Blaze. What is Blaze attack? Does anyone know? What is Blaze attack at M3 max? Blaze is 1650 at E2 max. Also, it's already automatically higher than Blaze. Like, even without Mastery 3, at rank 7, Monster is already doing more than Blaze. Wow, that's scary eh. You're very certain it's 1.6k? Let me know if that's the damage number. I forgot the damage number already. But Monster's DP increase once retreated? My memory says no. No, Monster's DP does not increase when retreated. So yeah, so you're confirming that Blaze is 1600 attack. Indeed, E230, E230 and rank 7, per hit Monster's doing like a lot more already. You can see that. And if you go all the way up to M3, the damage per hit, it's gonna be increased so much more greatly. It's 90% increase in attack now. Her self-attack speed goes up by 100, so she's gonna try to heal faster, and the AoE power goes up even more. The SP cost is so amazingly low for a 6-star, right? And someone who's doing like a lot of damage. 8 SP cost is quite unheard of. And it's not like a one-tap skill. It's not like one tap and he does big damage. It's one tap and it runs for 20 whole seconds. The 20 seconds run out, you wait for another 8 seconds, you can use the skill again. You pair it with Telopsis, even faster. You pair it with Telopsis, maybe it goes down to like SP cost 6 or SP cost 5, and Monster is just constantly able to use her skills so much. So, Surtur is 5, it's like instant when I deploy her. I know Surtur is crazy, right? That's what makes Surtur an amazing operator as well. But then again, Surtur is... After you use skill 3, you gotta retreat her. And you gotta wait out for like a whole 60 seconds for her to come back. Monster's different. You can keep him on the ground and just keep clicking the skill. Keep clicking the skill, let it run. If you want to redeploy him, retreat him, you have a shorter waiting time and go somewhere else. So this skill is honestly really, really powerful. Like, in general, this skill is very good to use. If there's a skill that I think you may want to M3 and practice to learn, this might be the skill to go for. No arts damage. You don't need arts damage for everything you see. Surtur can do the arts damage roll, right? Surtur is arts damage, go all the way over there. But Monster, physical damage, go crazy everywhere, right? Plus 90% to his 1200 attack power. It's like 2300 physical attack. 2300 physical attack at M3? It's insanely high, and it's AoE, remember that. So, honestly speaking, this is really, really powerful. Do I have to put Monster in Calcit's range for the attack to increase? You don't have to. The only penalty that you get for putting Monster outside of Calcit's range is the defense is 0. That's the only thing to take note. I'm gonna make a comparison between skill 2 and 3 after this. Let's look at skill 3, because this is the one that I think a lot of people get even crazier about. Now, skill 3, Monster's defense plus 140%. Again, remember he only gets the defense buff if he's within Calcit's range. Monster gains 190% more attack. It gradually decays to 0% over the skill duration and deals true damage. It kind of works like Phantom. You see, if you look at Phantom skill 2, you drop him down, he has a very high attack first. Every time Phantom hits someone, the attack goes down, it goes down, it goes down, and it goes down. Same idea here. Every time Monster is attacking someone, it goes down and down and down and down until it hits 0%, or if the skill runs out. But usually, the skill runs out before it hits 0%. So, with all that true damage going down, you start off really, really high, and it goes down to the usual 1400 attack. And it's still gonna be amazingly high. If Monster doesn't kill any enemies within the skill duration, so within the 18 seconds that it runs and he doesn't kill any enemies, he will lose 50% max HP, which is kind of okay, right? It's not too bad to lose his max HP since there's still the other 50%, unless the enemy he's fighting managed to really down him by a lot. If that happens, then he will have to explode, stun the person, do that 1200 true damage, right? If you're wondering, if I have a rank 7 Kelsit at E230, so how much damage will Kelsit be doing? You start off at 1230 plus 190. Let me do the math. And it's plus, by the way, so it's actually 290% attack. 3, 5, 6, 7. 3,500 first hit. That's just the first hit. Afterwards, it drops down. You can assume it drops down by about 300 per hit. So it drops down to like 3,200, it drops to 2,900, 2,600, and it keeps falling. It drops by about 300 to 400 each time. And in total, by the amount of true damage that he's dealing, it can be a full-on total of like 20,000-ish true damage. Or is it 20,000 or is it? I think it's about 15 to 20,000. I can't exactly calculate right now. Doesn't it drop down per second, not per hit? It drops down per second. Yes, it drops down per second, not per hit, actually. So it's just gonna decay. It's like, you know how Gravel has a shield, like the HP increase thing, and it decays? Same idea. So this is not like this is not like Phantom where he must hit to decrease the attack. This is over time it decreases. Yeah, over the skill duration. Until it drops to 0. You can assume that it spreads out well. So for example, if it's 3,567, the 18 seconds will be the amount of time that it takes from going from 3,567 all the way down to say the lowest the base attack that monster has. That's how it will be. It's not by percentage, I would say. It's gradual. It goes with the amount of increase. Yeah. Okay, let me bump it all the way up. Good night, Chico. Let me bump it all the way up to M3. Now, monster defense plus 200%. Monster gains 260% attack. Okay? Here's the insane part, yeah? Remember we saw skill 2, SP cost 8. Skill 3, SP cost 15. And runs for 20 seconds as well. Now, this is if you have it at just E230 of a Kelsit. Monster will do 4,428 for the first hit. And then afterwards, goes down, goes down, goes down, goes down, goes down, goes down. It's actually freaking amazing. With the amount of damage that it's dealing, this time it surpasses 20,000. I think it's like about 22,000 total worth of true damage. So this is something that you need to note. The drawback is that SP only regenerates after I put monster. Just go to Victor Labs for total damage. 34,000. 34,000 is if you have her E2 max, right? She's really broken. She is. She is gonna be super broken. E2 max M3. I can imagine so E2 max M3 is gonna be super powerful. So E2 max M3, E2 level 90, full trust, full potential, full everything, it's gonna be 34,000 damage in the total of one skill duration use. This is crazy, man. Worth to level 90? No, you don't need to level 90 anything. If you were like doing for waifu reasons, sure. But I never encourage level 90 because it's too expensive. But still, it's damn sweet to see this going on. Right? Kelsit is cool, but Surtur is superior. Man, I'm gonna have to say that this is hard for me because I haven't experienced a kid yet. She feels like she's on par with Surtur. If I were to say the bastardness, I think she has an equivalent bastardness to Surtur. The downside here is you must make note of the DP cost. It takes 20 DP to deploy Kelsit alone, and it takes another 10 to deploy monster. So in total it's 30 DP. And if you need to keep redeploying, you must always prepare 10 costs additionally. She has about the same total cost as like an AoE caster, for instance. So take note of that. And you think she's better than Surtur when it comes to Bossy Killer. And the fact that you can redeploy the monster a lot, it's just very impressive. Alright? Now, the final point I want to make about Kelsit is skill 2 and skill 3. Like, is there a skill that I would say that's of preference? Not really. I think both are crazy good in their own ways. Skill 3 is when you're battling against someone that has a super high defense or super high resistance, and you need to try to pierce this person as much as possible. That's when I'll say, yeah, use a Kelsit. Like, use a Kelsit on her skill 3 to fight against them. If not, if you're going by general use, playing normal stages, beating normal content, I honestly would have to say that skill 2 is better. Skill 2 is better because it's AoE. Again, yeah, dude, SP cost 8. You cannot tell me this is not crazy. SP cost 8 compared to this SP cost 15. I know this is true damage, but again, the fact that it attacks 3 enemies at once and like it attacks so damn big, it's just insane. It's so good to use something like this. Skill 2 is really my go-to skill. I would say. Will I M6 her? Yes. For sure. I will M6 Kelsit when I receive her. Like, I'm gonna have to put that skill 2 and skill 3 are just insanely fun. So hopefully you guys can understand it after I assess the skill with you guys, that this is just honestly crazy to look at. You're gonna go for E260. I'll probably put Kelsit at E270 and M3 on the 2 skills. You're not gonna use her skill 2 just cause you want your Blaze to still be useful. You can just use both of them, Zombie. You're not gonna ignore Blaze because you built Kelsit. If you really love an operator, you'll still use them, right? She doesn't make an operator obsolete. All these new operators are not making someone else obsolete. You can still use them for all you want. They are still amazing in their ways. Skill 2 for normal stages, skill 3 for hard stages. Depends, I would say. It's very situational. Skill 3 is when there's the reason to use the true damage. If you don't really need the true damage in the stage, I'd rather you go with the big fat physical damage that she have. Very, very situational on the 2. So take note of that. Alright, that's all I will mention for Kelsit. Crazy operator. Is this a must pull? Should you pull? I think so. Isn't it crazy from the way that I've explained it already? Like, I don't often preach operators and tell you guys to go and pull and whatnot, but this is one of the operators that I'll highly encourage to pull. And she's not limited. That's a good thing. I bless the fact that they didn't make Kelsit limited. Like, I went crazy when CN announced this operator, and they're like, oh, actually the limited is Scouter. Like, that's insane. You can easily get this operator by standard banners in the future if let's say you do miss out on her. So that's that. Or even in the selected ticket, maybe in year 3 of Arknights. Hey, pat the Kelsit door, sure. Ooh, good job Kelsit. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Any more questions by the way for Kelsit? If not, we're gonna look at Scouter. Let's see, Skadi. Are her pots worth it? Pots are never worth it unless you're paying a lot in the game. Teehee. Do not overpull. Like, don't go crazy with pots. Unless you're paying a lot of money in the game, then if you care about pots, sure. I don't even care about pots. No, but if you're saying, if you're asking me, are her pots worth, as in, is there some really crazy pot to get? No. The most that I can think of is deployment costs, which is like just to down it by 1. Or maybe there's no reason. I really don't see anything. I don't think there's a need to get her pot. At most it's pot 5, but even pot 5 is not crazy, you see, it's just the amount of stun time and true damage. If you're gonna use a stun time, sure, but if not, yeah, it's not a must. It's not like Surtur where she stays for another extra second, or like Taunts where he heals even more. So that's that. Okay, let's go to Skadi. Welcome to Scouter. Okay, the final 6-star that I got to mention here. Now, Scouter is very, very pretty looking, don't you think? Like the whole nice looking red dress and like, this is making me regret not getting her skin all over again. Why didn't I buy your swimsuit skin? Why did I forsake you like this? But yes, this is her E2 art. Beautiful E2 art with her Seaborn sitting right behind her. And the best part of this is that this is a live 2D skin. I don't dare to show the live 2D skin. Apparently it made my stream lag the other time. Like, is it lagging? Oh, I'm a slight bit glitchy. And for some reason, A-Shit doesn't want to play it properly for me. So I can't really show the live 2D skin, even though I want to, but yeah, we're just gonna go with this. Skadi skin will not have a rerun anymore. It will still have a rerun. It's just that there's no more skin benefit. Like, they're giving a free skin voucher to everyone who owns a Skadi swimsuit skin, which I don't. So I have to cope with my own pain. But okay, anyways, this is operator review. Let's focus on that. So Skadi the Corrupting Heart, she's a supporter, and she has the class of a bard, or if not, it's basically a singer, like Sora, exactly the same. She's got support, survival, and DPS as her tags. So like a singer, she doesn't attack, as in she herself doesn't attack the enemies, but she has skills that might do damage. Continuously heal all allies within range. 10% of self-attack every second. And she herself is not she's not affected by her own Inspire effect. Meaning to say, she heals everyone except herself. I think, if I'm not wrong, that's what it means. That's what it means, right? Like, Sora cannot heal herself as well, right? She can heal everyone but her. Oh, what's this supposed to mean? Then, she heals herself. Then what does it mean when they say that they're unaffected by Inspire effects? Her buffs doesn't affect herself. Ah, okay. So if there's like an attack or a defense increase, Skadi will not receive it. She gives it to everyone by herself. Okay. Will all the other limited operators get Live 2D on their update, or will they be implemented over time? Other limited operators will get Live 2D implemented over time. Yeah. If she heals herself, she wouldn't die from skill 3, right? No. She dies on skill 3 because she stops healing. I'll talk about it when we look at skill 3. Let's see this first. She has a lot of attack power increase, by the way, in her potentials and the trust. So it's emphasizing on the attack quite a bit. Can summon a Seaborn that lasts for 15 seconds. The Seaborn's attack range is treated as an extension of her attack range. Meaning to say that, like Sora, she was buffing a lot of people within her skill range. But if you put this summonable Seaborn that has the 8 tile radius range, whoever that's within the Seaborn range will also receive the skills benefits and the buff benefits. So if you put it side by side, it may not be the best option. It might be best that you split them apart, give it to someone else who receives the buff if they're not within Scouter's range. Alright, if you have it at E2, the Seaborn can be summoned and it will last for 25 seconds now. And if there are allies within Skadi or the Seaborn's attack range, the self-attack of these allies will be increased by 6%. So anyone that is within the range of a E2 Skadi, their base attack is going to increase by 6% already. But if they are an Abyssal Hunter... self-attack. My bad. Mystery, self-attack. It's not other people attack. Oops. Self-attack, so her own attack will increase by 6%. If there are Abyssal Hunter operators within her range, her own attack is increased by 15%. So she gets the nice little attack buff. These attack increases will get passed on to other operators later. You'll see what I mean when we read the skills. Alright, I'm not going to look at pot because it's going to be very expensive to go for a pot. I'm not even chasing for high pot anyway. Anyways. Skill 1. Wait, I'm going to look at stats. It's not amazing. I mean, it's like... yeah, it's not crazy high of an attack. It's okay of a defense. Yeah, very regular stuff. And the Seaborn doesn't have much stats as well. They can't be attacked anyway, so it's perfectly fine. Let's look at her skills. She doesn't need an insanely high attack. The attack value is honestly so high to the point that they will do a big advantage later on when we look at the skills. Now let's look at skill 1. Immediately recover all HP and gains a max HP of plus 140%. Increase trait effect to 60%. 50% of the damage taken by all allies within the attack range is transferred to Skadi, with the strongest effect taking precedence. Wait. I'm getting confused by the strongest effect taking precedence. Those of you who are familiar or CN players, can you explain that to me? What do they mean by strongest effect taking precedence? Okay, immediately recovers all HP, I think you guys understand that. Increase trait effect to 60%. So what this does is that her healing at first is 10% of her own attack, right? It raises up to 60%. Now, doesn't stack with Sora. Strongest effect doesn't mean... Oh, so it's like Tsukinogi, I guess. Tsukinogi reduces the damage taken, right? So it doesn't stack with Tsuki. Like, Skadi is going to be the highest. But in this case, he's talking about the damage taking, I think. It's either talking about the damage taking or he's talking about the healing. Can't tell which one it is, but whichever it is, let's not be too bothered. We don't need to look at this, we just look at the skills. So increased trait effect to 60%, right? She will be healing people for 60% of her attack. Am I correct to say this? Is it 60% of her attack value? Sea water. Is it? Oh, so, wow. 60% of her attack value. If it's E230... Oh, she heals people for like 200 attack. And it's per second, right? Yeah, every second. Whoa, 200 every second? You're doing better than an AoE healer. Or it's about the same healing speed as an AoE healer, actually. If you pump it all the way up to M3, how long will this YouTube video be? To those of you on YouTube watching me outside of the stream, I hope it's not too long. Maybe it's been like 40 minutes or something. My longest YouTube video yet. But anyways, yeah. AoE only heals 3 packs. Right, AoE only heals 3 packs, but she can heal more than 3. Which is crazy if you think about it. So, now if you buff it all the way up to M3, and it's 80, right? 80%. At E2 M3, she's gonna heal for 250 per second. So, as a healing skill, like a speed healing, it kinda blasts up quite a bit. But, would I say, take into account and trust? Oh yeah, I forgot. 50 and 27. Okay, I'm not gonna take into account the potentials. Yeah, there's gonna be allies in a range, right? So let's just take the reference of 6% and 50. Let me just add that all up. And then we add by the amount of healing that she provides. Yeah, it's 300. Like, she, at M3, E230, she heals for 300 per second. So, honestly speaking, for healing power, it's very strong. It's super, super strong. Did she outclass Sora? I think she did. It's kind of sad. She's doing way better than Sora, like insanely better. Yes, this will be posted to YouTube, hella god. But yeah, super, super good. This skill is only good if you are using for medical reasons, like healing reasons. Duration of 30 seconds can be long, but take note, the SV cost is unpleasant. The SV cost is 50. I don't like it at all. It's like, it reminds me of Nightmare. Nightmare also has a very long SV cost for her healing skill. So, note this when using this skill. There's people who tried to use this for tanking the fireballs. Like, people managed to use this in H84 and JT83, whereby everyone that's within the range, they take the fireball in, and even though Skadi is absorbing the damage, but she still managed to sustain and survive, as long as the medic healing her is healing her powerfully. So this is like quite an amazing skill, I would say. But should you M3 it or should you build it and use it a lot? Not really. It's not so powerful to the point that it's a thing that you must take. Alright? Alright, I will move on. Right, Zach, welcome to my stream, by the way. Thanks for saying that you love my videos. In fact, this stream that I'm doing right now is going to a video. hopefully you might double hear things since I'll be posting this tomorrow, like 24 hours from now. You wouldn't damage for M3, but it's the best damage mitigation skill in the game, for sure. Like, this really helps to shield up a lot of the damage that your normal operators will take. Now, this one, let's look at skill 2. Run Inspire Effect, which buffs the attack and defense of the operators basically. Grants Inspire Effect equals to 45% of Skadi's attack and defense to all allies within attack range. Increases her trait effect, which is a healing, to 17%. What's my favorite part about this skill? Infinite. Freaking infinite. I want this infinite skill so bad. I'm lazy sometimes, or not most of the time. Alright, SP cost is 64. If you bump it all the way up to M3, 60% is the buff, 20% of the healing, and SP cost is 56. And infinite! It still stays as infinite. And that's what I love about it. Like, if you don't know how to use Skadi, okay? You don't know how to use skill 1, you don't know how to use skill 3, and you're like, what should I do if I get a Skadi? Skill 2, okay? By default, it's the easiest one to understand. Skill 2, basically, okay, what Inspire does, right? So Inspire adds the attack straight into an operator. So now it says 60% of Skadi's attack. Skadi's attack at E230 is 326, and then you add the trust is 376. So I round off to 370, alright? Just 370. Okay? So if it's 60%, see, there's this 222, right? Can you see it? 222 on my calculator on my screen. Now, 222, what it does is that the 222 will add straight into your operator's attack. So for example, you got a taunts, okay? Without skill activation, yeah, you must take note this doesn't count skill activation yet. You have a taunts that has 600 attack. Once the skill for Scouter is turned on, what did I just burp? I just made a loud burping sound. I think I've been drinking so much water, but my throat is dry, so I really gotta drink water, and a bunch of you redeem hydrate. Okay, so Taunts has 600 attack, and with Skadi's Inspire, 222 plus 600, it goes all the way up to 822. 822, and that's before Taunt skill is turned on. After, when Taunt skill is turned on, it counts the total attack that he got. Wait, Inspire is before or after skill activation? Inspire is after. Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry. So, okay, this is after skill is turned on then. So even if the skill hasn't been turned on, but after that, it will just add as a flat amount. Yeah, it's additive. So it's not like a major buff. Once someone's skill is turned on, so if let's say the person has 1500 attack, then Skadi will give an additional 222 attack onto the person. And therefore, it becomes this nice little buff. Would I say Inspire is not that OP? It's not that it's not that OP, you see. Sometimes the 200 attack could make a difference. It could help. Imagine you feed Inspire, yeah, okay, like what did you say? To Exia. You feed Inspire to Exia, then Exia can finally pierce through things that have a very high defense. Exia struggles so much when trying to compare her to Ashe. Because, for example, when you're trying to defeat 800 defense enemy, Exia has 650 attack. She cannot pierce a high defense enemy at 800. But you put Inspire on her, and it adds her attack all the way up to like 900-ish. Bam! Like Exia finally can pierce through those high defense enemies. So it helps, to be fair, to feed. And even to arts damage dealers when you can increase their attack. See? If you can feed it to someone like Aya, right? You buff her attack by 200. Maybe it can help her to clean up the smaller mobs even more. So yes, don't focus too much on this turn. Just understand that this adds to their attack and adds to their defense. So as a lazy skill, if you just want to buff people around, you can use her skill 2, put her somewhere, let everyone around her get that nice little attack buff, and see how your operators are healing things even faster. So that's that. Buffing an AoE healer is like, oh yeah, you're right. Catwitch, you are correct. Inspire might not help someone who already has a very high attack. But if you imagine you put it on someone with a smaller attack amount, like a healer, right? Healers normally, okay, an AoE healer at E2, maybe 300 attack. Because it adds a flat amount. So 220 attack on top of a healer, which means they go from 300 to 520. You look like as if you're gonna give them a 700%, 100% increase. 2 times of the healing. So it looks like it's not good on some people, but it's also good on other people. That's why you really need to catch this on, as to how to use this skill to your advantage. Use it on Perfumer since her talent is also attack based, right? It's gonna be amazing to pair it together. Can this buff monster? Yes, this can buff monster, indeed. Alright, I think I explained enough about her skill 2 and the situations to use. 160 defense buff is like the best part. Yeah, the defense buffs can be nice also. It means that it really helps the operators to sustain even harder. Imagine buffing up and then he just kills all your ops even easier. Oh no. Buff up doesn't really get the buff. If you're fearing that up will kill someone even better because he gets the attack increase, it doesn't work that way. Ark's skill by default is 500 attack. It doesn't increase more than 500. Yeah. Even if you buff up like mad, he's still gonna do 500 damage each time. So nothing happens. Alright, let me move on to skill 3. Now, skill 3 states that trait changes to losing 5% self HP every second. Deal 55% true damage to all enemies within attack range every second. And then the damage from herself and Seaborn can stack, so only the true damage that they're referring to, this part can stack. Grants Inspire effect equal to 80% of Skadi's attack to all allies within attack range. If you bump it up all the way to M3, it's 70% true damage, 110% of her attack, and the SP cost is 35. Now, 110% of her attack, if we take reference to like the 370 attack that she has at E2 level 30, she's gonna have a 400 flat amount increase. You feed this to like a medic. You feed this to people who naturally have very low attack. Actually, if you feed 400 attack to a medic, isn't it crazy? It's times 2 of their healing. Imagine you feed it to a silence at 400 attack, and then you put the Seaborn at her range. Then she'll heal someone for 800. Wow! Amazing, isn't it? It goes brrrr. So much attack. Like this really helps. And the plus one of the 70% true damage is that she will kind of like radiate this true damage every second. 70% true damage may not sound too high, to be very honest. If I take 70 multiplied by her attack, she's only gonna deal 259 damage, right? 259 damage per second. And she deals it for 20 seconds. So, in a sense, in total, at E2 30, she's gonna deal like 5,000 damage. If you stack it with the Seaborn, it's a total of 10,000 damage, true damage. Can be high, can be low. It depends. You see, if you don't put the Seaborn, it's only gonna be 5,000 damage. If you do put the Seaborn, it could be 10,000. But let's put it in the scenario that you don't stack. Alright? So with 5,000 damage, it's very good against small mobs. It's nice, yes, it's a nice bonus. It helps to kill things much faster. And your remaining operators can have an easier time getting to kill them. And I mean, you're also giving an attack buff in the meantime as well, which is a very high attack buff if you think about it, like 400 attack. And with that, right, this honestly makes it an insane enough skill that gives one of the best buffs that you could see in the game. So if you learn how to use this, time this well, time how to maybe put the true damage to use for yourself, this skill can be very helpful. And which skill would I advise that you build? It's up to you. This one is time. Do you want to practice the timing? It's worth it. If you can master it, this can be very good for your account. If you can't pick up the skills too well, you want to be on the lazier side, just take this. Like, this is comfortable enough. So, really up to you guys as to how you want to use Scouter. Is Scouter meta, by the way, or is Scouter busted? No, not exactly. Don't be so quick to say, wow, she's crazy with all the numbers and whatnot. She's not yet. She's good after you build a lot of good operators. If you still don't have good damage people, don't go crazy with Scouter. She's a buffer after all. Like, if she's a buffer, you need someone to buff her. If you pair skill 2 with Lancet, or no, if you pair skill 3 with Lancet, Lancet has like what, 50 healing or 100 healing? Lancet gets times 4 healing power. Lancet way too strong, man. Yeah, but seriously, with owning a buffer and having no one to buff is a bit dumb. So please do not over-focus on building Scouter just yet. If let's say you're new to the game, you're midway in the game, see whether you can make the person help in your account. If not, then don't do it. I'm missing something. Skill 2 already works amazingly as a medic. The fact that it's 20% as an increased trait effect, 20 times 100 times 20 or 100 times 360. Oh, it is. I mean, it looks a little bit like Perfume or even bigger. Alright, 72 healing per second. Oh, it's very high. Yeah. It works very well as a medic. Very, very sustainable. One more thing that I want to put to close off this banner. Let me grab the under tights. Hey, as a closing message for this banner, honestly, it's made up of so many busted operators, as we can see, right? So many operators with wonderful skills, even operators that look like you could be M9ing them, M6ing them. So much attack power, people that looks like they are some harmless thing but actually does huge fat damage onto everything. So, what's the DP cost? If you want to know about Scouter. Scouter's DP cost is 8. 8, very low. Right, anyways, yeah, so the banner is made up of many good people. Akafu is a bit of the iffy one, to be fair. But Scouter, Gladiator, Kelsit, very, very nice. All the kits are usable everywhere. And I may want to emphasize this again. They have a very good track record, right? All 3 of them did max risk in CC. Was I correct to say that? Kelsit did max risk for CC5. She also did max risk for CC6. Scouter did max risk for CC5, but she didn't do max risk for CC6. Kelsit not in CC6. Oh, okay. But Kelsit, Scouter is CC5 and 6. Right, so Gladiator did max risk for CC5, CC6. Scouter did max risk for CC5 and CC6, and Kelsit only did it for CC5. But they got a good track record, you see. The fact that it's very good to see them in place, and the fact that they can play so well. So it shows their power, it shows their potential. Is this banner a must pull? I would never call a banner a must pull. But do I strongly encourage to pull the banner? Yeah, heck yes. It's damn good. Like, so many good operators, so many fun skills to use. That's my joy. I don't care about the meta-ness or the attack power. I just find their skills very fun. That's what that matters, right? You gotta play the game in a way that you're happy with it. So, if you guys have been looking for advice on pooling, hopefully this stream, or if not this video, have helped you guys out in that. Alright, if not, I think this is where I end the video. Bye.